Welcome everybody to Website Throwdown with Joshua Harrell, Travel Quest Network World Via Travel Group, and I'm here with Kara Brown from Experience Culture Travel, and we are going to do a throwdown. And we were just having a little bit of a chat before, so I've got a few notes. But part of the Website Throwdown is that I do not look at the website beforehand. Which I was just telling Kara that it was a little bit of a struggle for me when I was looking at my calendar, because I just wanted to look and then I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So I will be seeing it for the first time, as probably many of you. And I have a little bit of a structure. So if you guys have tuned in before, you're going to hear some of the same things, but everybody's a little bit different. Some people are focused on certain things, so they're way ahead of the curve on that. Other things might get overlooked. So it just helps me be pretty consistent. And it's something that I've used to audit websites for the past 7 years or so. So I'm bringing a lot of bad website garbage or luggage. It's my luggage. So anyway, with that said, welcome, Kara. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So before we go to your website, where did you come up with the name for your company?
I came up with it because the part of traveling that I like the most is really trying to get past the normal tourist locations and see what people live like there. One of my first major trips I took was a church mission trip, and so I was able to go past like what normal people would see. And it was also to a place in the Caribbean, St. Vincent, that I don't think most people that are just going on vacation go to. So it was really eye-opening to see kind of the level of poverty there and see how different people live and just the different structures that are in place in other areas of the world. And that was something that I want to give my children, that I want to give other people the opportunity to see. So my vision for my business, when I start getting to that niche client that comes back every time, is to get them to places and have them see past just like the normal tourist destination, but see, okay, what are people living like here? And, you know, what is the politics like? You know, things that maybe a normal tourist would not care about. So for me, that's the culture of the area. So I want them to experience that.
Now, how long have you been in business?
This is my 3rd year, but the first year that I was in business, I didn't actively do anything. I just sort of made my name in my LLC and got the website URL, and that was pretty much it. So it's really like 2 full years that I've been doing this now.
And how long has this website that we're about to look at, how long has that been up and live and attracting visitors?
2.5 years, maybe, something like that.
Okay, awesome. I love hearing that, because a lot of people I talk to have brand new websites, and the challenge with that is it takes a long time before Google and Bing get through it. So you're kind of building it and waiting for people to come. So I'm excited that I'm sure we're going to have some good data to talk about as well. All right, so let's get on with the show, right? As they say. So I got to make sure I'm doing this right. So I am sharing my Chrome screen. And I need to, you disappeared, so I like to see faces, although you said you might take notes, so you might be looking down. Yeah. All right, so Kara, do you see the website? Or not the website, do you see my Chrome?
Yeah, I see Google.
Okay, you see Google, okay. So I cut and pasted your address in here, and I am about to go. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. This is going to be fun. All right, here we go. So just kind of observing. It's loading pretty fast, which is super good. Just for those of you who are tuned in, some websites struggle because we've uploaded really big image files. And Google does not like that at all. That is not a friend of Google. So really good marks on that. So good job here. And is this your logo here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to make a comment about the branding.
Okay.
And again, I'm saying everything I say is my opinion, and it is said with love because I want you to succeed. And if you think it's all crap, you can just ignore me. But I think using your logo here, because you've got really tiny print on the arrow that's going across the globe, I don't think it's really servicing you very well here.
Sure.
It probably looks great elsewhere. So I think I would rather just even see just the text version of your logo up there instead of the icon, because I think I'm not even sure what the name of your company is by looking at this.
Sure. So like where it says experience other worlds, I could just have that be it and not have the
Yeah,
logo.
just not have the logo at all. I think that would just serve you better because I'm not reading it as travel, and I don't know the name of the company.
Cool.
So, okay. So let's look here. So first off, liking how you're treating your text in your headers. I mean, you, adventure, why travel agent, your, although I probably would say I would highlight vacation instead of your down here.
Okay.
Just because we got you earlier there. All right, so I'm scrolling down. We got a nice picture of Greece. I hope that's Greece because I'm
Yes, it
really
is.
geographically challenged. Okay, thank you very much. I do know websites and I do know marketing, but my geography is crap. So, okay. So as I scroll, obviously I see that you do travel from a distance. I see travel, you're calling it out. And you know what, I'm not just seeing a beautiful picture. I'm seeing, a historical site that's under construction. So that's a little bit different than maybe I would someone who is just selling the fantasy. And you said you want to get in to see, this is real life and what's going on. So I think that's interesting. I'm a huge proponent of photos where people are looking at you.
Okay.
And that they represent the user or your customer in what you sell or the services you provide. So I would love this same type of image, but if it was even a couple taking a selfie,
Sure.
or just making that connection. There's a lot of studies that go into if you see someone's eyes in a picture,
Yeah.
you respond better. I'm not saying that's a definite thing.
Yeah.
This is such a nice hero banner that I would just, if I could just plug my customer right in there so they could see themselves there, I think that
Yeah.
would be awesome. So as I scroll, you've got a nice narrow navigation. Your top navigation should be no more than 5 links, and you have done that. So that's a beautiful thing. And I generally don't count home because a lot of websites are no longer using home because everybody knows that you can click on the icon in the upper left and go home. So that could narrow it down, but it's not you're not turning me off. But if you had 12 items up there, I'd be a little concerned. So just initial reaction, services, vacation gallery, contact me. I don't mind the contact me, but services, I just feel like you could maybe romance that a little bit more. Like what I do. And then you click that and then I get to your services page, right?
So full disclosure, my services page is my least favorite of the pages because I had started out saying like, okay, here are the components that I could put together. And like recently I was thinking about it and I was like, well, duh, anyone who goes to a travel agent knows that I could do your air, I could do your hotel, so what I want to change that to is more like, here are the types of packages I could put together. So like a homestay, what would that look like? Or things like that where it's more unique to that, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So that's my vision, but it's not there yet. So if you look at that page, you're going to be like, this is a terrible page, change everything.
Okay, well, we will get to that. And then vacation gallery, I just think that that's another place to add the personalization of my trips or my clients' trips or something. The word gallery is not, I'm not in love with. And I know that this is you because you said contact me, because we had that conversation at Travel Quest World. You know, are
Yeah.
you this conglomerate, or are you in delivering the service? So I could see you shifting all of those to be very first person and connecting to you. So that I'm going to move on now. All right, so we've got a lot, as I scroll, this is a lot of text right here. So, and I'm going to just check, because you can check to see if a website is responsive, meaning that it adjusts to be on all different sizes of websites, and yours, or not websites, devices, and yours does. So kudos there. That's a big deal.
Well, you know,
I don't,
Squarespace does do a lot of things for me.
Squarespace, it's my favorite. It is, you cannot break Squarespace, and I love it. We use it for the majority of our websites, so good job there. You know, especially when devices are constantly changing, you know, let them worry about it.
Yes.
That's pretty important. So my observation still stands that this is a lot of text here. So once I scroll to this section, I'm kind of like, whoa, where do you want me to look?
Sure.
So part of what I would recommend is maybe dropping in some images on this side over here, because I think you're telling a story here, connecting you with your next adventure. I don't
Yeah.
know that I want to break that up unless maybe you had some pictures of you on an adventure. I could see that going there. But
Okay.
somewhere, I think I need at least one picture to kind of keep my interest and not make me feel like I'm drowning.
Sure.
Okay, I mean, you've got, these are all headers, which in website speak, those are your big text and your sections. And you were sharing with me earlier that a friend of yours helped you with your website, and he does SEO for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he definitely guided you well,
Yes.
because the way that they're coded in a website, they're called header tags or H tags. And Google, the computer, is reading your website as just a bunch of details, and it knows that when it sees those H tags, that those are the most important content on the page, or descriptors of what that content will be. And it has an H1, which is your bigger, H2 should be a little smaller, H3 should be a little smaller. And those are all, it depends on your website how many of those that you're using, but Google knows that an H1 is really important. So that section of the website is probably about, why would someone use a travel agent? So I think that was really smart. So definitely gave you some good advice there. I love that you've got a nice little button here that is interactive with me. It's saying, hey, click me and go to the page that Kara does not like. So
I
yeah.
will like soon, once I figure out what to put in there.
I like that. All right, so we've got a video here. Did you make this video?
Yes.
Can I play it? Or
Yeah.
okay. Let's see. I don't know if everybody, oh, can you hear it?
No.
Can you hear it? No. All
It's
right.
just music
That's
though.
one of the challenges.
Yeah, it's just music. There's no like audio. It's, you know, so you could still play it and
Okay.
see the content of it if you wanted.
All right, I'm gonna do that just because it was really loud in my ear for you not
Oh,
to be able to hear it. Start with a 15-minute consultation. We'll cover logistics of your desired trip, your preferences for travel, our terms and conditions. That sounds a little scary, and we'll get to know you a bit. Okay. Oh, determine if we're a good fit. I like that. Wow, her hair is,
yeah.
there's a lot going on. Okay. All right. I love the fact that you have a video. I think I would try to trim this down a little bit and make it, since it's the first video that someone will see, I would just trim it down a little bit and
Sure.
say, you know, here's what to expect. Let's get to know each other. Then we can decide if I'm right for you and you're right for me. And
Yeah.
then, you know, here are the things that you want to think about before we talk. And then just something that I can watch and get really quick.
Yeah.
So I love that you did it though, because a lot of people are scared the moment you say consultation. It sounds like you're about to chop off all your hair and you're having a consultation before the hairdresser will cut it. So I like that pretty good. I like that a lot. So another thing I would suggest on your video here is you can get a free account with Vimeo,
Okay.
and you can only hold like a small video file for free. They do charge for the service if you go beyond that. But what it will do versus YouTube is it will prevent this stuff from showing.
Okay.
And I believe on Squarespace, and don't quote me, depends on the template, but it will just automatically play when someone gets to it.
Oh,
And then it will stop and it will be gone. And then I won't get distracted by cruise freebies over
right.
here, because you can't control what's going to show up. So
Got it.
anyway, that would be a recommendation. I've used Vimeo for hero banners that were videos,
Okay.
where you've got the still image. It just is a nice, clean experience,
Yeah.
but it only works if you have one video. I think maybe two will work in the library, at least for free.
Sure.
I do pay for a subscription to it just because we host other videos there, but
Yeah.
that would just be my recommendation. We've got a picture here. Where is this taken?
Jamaica. It's up in the mountains.
Jamaica.
They killed the chickens that we ate that same morning. It was pretty cool.
Well,
Like I
as a
didn't see that
pet,
happening, but like you saw chickens and then there was chicken in your meal. So I would have been a little, and they had fresh fish that they had just caught and like did it over like a big fire. It was really cool.
that's
Very unique
awesome.
experience.
Um, so I love the picture. I would love to know if you put a little text on here so I could see that it was Jamaica.
Okay.
Could be helpful. I would, and if you had a picture of you in this spot, I would even love that more. I
Okay.
mean, I'm always going to want pictures of you. Okay, this is very, very cool. All right, so we've got some great testimonials here. A lot of testimonials.
Yes.
I might recommend that you break them up and put some on every page on your website.
Okay.
And then have a page that maybe is not a part of your navigation, that's a hidden page that has all of your testimonials. So maybe
Okay.
you even incorporate that in a link in an email that, if
Okay.
somebody wants to vet you more, they could go and see them all. But it's a lot for me to take in
Sure.
here. So I almost wish that About Me would flop with testimonials. So I
Okay.
just have a few testimonials, but then here I am. I've got you, I've got baby, I've got suitcases, have baby and suitcases, we'll travel. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Oh, another beautiful picture. Wow. This is one picture I know I don't want you in because I just want to take in the full expanse of this space. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
That was in that
Very,
St. Vincent place where it was like not very many people go here, and I got to see behind the scenes of it. And this was like a personal cove for the place we were staying. Nobody else got to go there.
that's
It's really
awesome.
cool.
So I would love for that, you know how I was saying fly some text over that other picture? I would love for this picture, because of the story that you just told me, I would love to have just a little caption here that's telling me that story. Or if you wrote a blog about it, you could link it to the blog. But again, you are connecting with your brand and me as the user. That story right there, that spoke to me, because what you do is exactly how I like to travel. I
Perfect.
am definitely not into the touristy things, but people drag me there all the time. Let's see. Okay, so we've got get email updates. I sign up with your email address to receive travel news, updates, and unique opportunities. I love your description of your email. You might want to put in here that it's a monthly email if it is, or
It's not. It's when I think about it. So that's why I don't have that, because I'm like, oh, I
you're
probably have to do it if I'm
like
going to say it's monthly.
right. I like the randomness of whenever I get the inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, if you get on a cycle, I mean, I have seen over and over again that email marketing works tremendously. So making yourself disciplined will definitely help you. And if you put the monthly email part, it just lets me know what to expect.
Sure.
So even if you skipped a month, at least I know you're not going to hit me with a lot of discount codes or
Yeah.
different promotions. So I'm kind of getting that. I also would love for you to call this get email updates, something like, and I'm going to steal this from my own website, but get email goodness from me. Like
Okay.
that just something again personal. And I'm not necessarily thinking of you in terms of having lots of updates for me.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of shifting the expectation that it's going to be good stuff that I send you. It's just going to be on my own calendar. So I'm going to send it whenever I feel like. So anyway, I like that. You have your links to Facebook and Instagram, which is fantastic because if I click on these, I should go and see some amazing personality images, right?
They're all the places I've been. I don't usually put myself in there because I'm usually traveling alone. So it would be all selfies, like
Well, you know what? I respect that. I think if you could get, if I'm looking at these 9 images, if I could at least see one selfie in the mix as I scroll
okay.
through, I think that again, we're connecting you as the brand, and I would actually love to see in here that these are my pictures. Like
Okay.
in social media, it's so social, right?
Yeah.
I would encourage you to speak very personally here because the brand and you are one and the same.
Yeah.
If it was a traditional travel agency where there were going to be other agents, then my feeling on that is then you speak from the company perspective.
Yeah.
But I think here some of these pictures look so good that I think you stole them off the web. But if you said all these pictures are my own for my own travels,
Yeah.
then that says, okay, she is the person I want to work with. So love that. I'm going to click on Facebook just to see what's going on. Hopefully my Aunt Nancy hasn't posted something ridiculous that shows up here.
18
Okay.
Aunt Nancy's.
Yep. Well, once I became a part of Travel Quest, my Facebook came alive. So there's a lot going on there. Okay, got our picture here. Oh, look at you. You've got your messenger chat
Oh, I didn't
ready to
know that
go.
happened. So that's cool.
I love it. That's really awesome. Good job. Let's just see here. Do we have any reviews on here? Five out of five, 7 people. That's very good. We've got some reviews. That's awesome. Last post was September 20th, but you've got this video pinned here. Okay, that makes sense. Since that's been up here for a while, maybe put in some video either from your travel or certain suppliers have videos that you can use.
Sure.
Just so I kind of get in that space of you traveling and
Sure.
oh look, I love the photos. Okay, look at this. We got some video from you. I love it. Good job. Good job. Good layout there. Very, very pleased. I know it wasn't a social media review, but like that you have it all connected.
Well,
That's
thanks
really
for the
cool.
bonus.
Yeah, we'll charge you for that later.
Okay.
I'll send the bill. All right, so let's follow. So you're by organizing your navigation in this way.
Mhm.
So this is another way to think of your navigation. You are saying for the very diligent person that they're going to go from your home page to this page, to this page, to this page. Okay.
Okay.
Now that might not be what you were intending, but that is deep down, that's what you're signaling. So for somebody who has to take in everything, they're going to follow this for the most part, unless you've linked them to, like you have this button here.
Yeah.
If you had a button right here or then right down here that's saying go to the next step, that's
Sure.
another way to guide them, but that's how I evaluate a navigation. So I'm going to look at the page that you hate the most.
Yeah. Because
Vacation
it used to
planning
be bigger, and I even
services.
deleted stuff because I was in the process of trying to think of stuff to do.
Okay. So I'm going to put my glasses on here. All right, so you've got a link to a blog post here. I'm going to just click that to see what's going on. I do like how you opened it up in another window for me. That's good. If you're trying to get someone to follow a flow, then have the link just take over the page. But if you just want to give some supporting information, having them link and open in another window, good job there. Service with a smile. More pictures, more pictures, more pictures of you. Always, 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 always. Okay, so I'm going to give you my gut feeling right here is I love where you're going to go with it. I know that you've got a plan and you're going to go there. I would just highly encourage you to capture a photo that you've taken that represents each of those steps or those packages. Even if it's just you, with some brochures in your hand and you're like, planning, whatever it is, I think that would be quintessentially you, and would be a great way for me to look at that page and get it. For someone who doesn't like to read details, my reading comprehension is terrible, so it's excellent that I work in a space where you have to write a lot. But this is already too much text for me to take in.
Okay.
So I would love to see it broken down into the categories that you discussed earlier, and then just give me a nice header for each one so I could get, she does packages, she does this homestay. And then if I want to read more, then you give me the option for some more details there, right? But I could even see you've got vacation planning services, and I can already tell that was an SEO plant right there, that you were trying to get that. So I get it. I could even see you say my vacation planning services, just something to make it look less like an SEO plant. Now that your normal user is not going to go through that, but I want to make sure that, again, you're talking to me, because people buy from people. So I want to connect with you. All right. So what I would also suggest here is a button here to talk to me. So send me over to your contact page. I haven't been there yet, but if I read this page and I get down to the bottom, give me somewhere to go versus me having to scroll all the way up or just Xing out and going somewhere else. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go over to Vacation Gallery. Okay. Look at this. Beautiful. Nice, 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 nice. Sorry, I've gone nonverbal there. Sorry. I really love this. So, do you have a strategy with which articles or which destinations you're posting here, or is this really just this is what I have at this moment?
Yeah, I try to get it from everyone that I plan for, and it's kind of the strategy is whether or not they give me any pictures. And some of these are my own trips, so then I do all my own trips in there as well. But for my clients,
I really love this. I really love this. Okay, yeah, this is really good. Again, Travel Gallery, give me a better name. Give me something that I clearly know that this is me and my clients. This is where we've been. Something that connects. Since you've got the destination pictures, I know I am constantly saying, hey, get pictures of yourself in here. I love these. They're beautiful. I get the destination. I love it. So maybe if you had a little picture of you with one of your clients, that could be a cool thing to just make the connection that visually I can tell this is me and my clients. But love this. I love the depth of content, and I love the fact that it does go back over the last couple of years. It's so transparent when there's one blog post and it just happened last month. So pretty tough there. Okay, good job on the gallery. Now contact me. All right, let's talk about the love. Again, picture of you. That's great. Simply fill out the form below. So this is not a website piece of advice. It's just a copywriting piece of advice. You have one paragraph, and we've got two exclamation points in there, it's a
Oh, yeah.
little exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
Use
I
it
was
like
excited, but yeah, I suppose they're
yeah,
not going to be that excited.
yeah. I mean, I think that last one is good, but I find that a lot of people write and using those almost every other sentence. And so it becomes like, what are you really excited about? What do you want to end this paragraph with? And I think you did a good job there. Okay, so let me ask you this. So I'm on the contact me page, so therefore I know I'm contacting you. Um, why is your form, your contact form, not here? Why is it not embedded in this page? Why do I have to click something else to go there?
It used to be embedded, and my friend that gave me the SEO stuff said it was too busy. So then he said,
Busy.
do a button. So I undid it, but it's easy enough to make it either way.
Yeah, I would recommend that it be there because every step that I have to take is going to take me away from working with you.
Sure.
I think I, I, I I love the button if it's on other pages to get you to this form, but I think if I've gotten to contact me, then I do want to contact you.
Okay.
So it needs to be, I would get it right up here so I don't have to scroll to get to it. I'm ready to talk to you. Maybe put some of this information to the side, but just make it so if I'm on my mobile phone and I hit that, then there's your form right there.
Okay.
Fill out. Okay. All right. And then let's see, what's your name? You're giving me some I'm going to say exclamation explanation of what's going to happen here, which is good. Tell me about your dream vacation. Okay, pretty simple. You're not asking for my social security number, my passport number, everything else. So pretty simple there. And let me ask you this. Why did you make tell me about your vacation dream a required field? I see because of the asterisk here that it's required.
I'm not the best small talk person, so if I know what I'm getting into, I can plan a little to like questions. So for the call to not be awkward, basically, is what I'm hoping to do. And then also, if they just want to go to Las Vegas and gamble, like that's not my ideal client, and I can tell them that right away and just say, I could coordinate or give you names of somebody else that might be better to work with you that I know, my colleagues, trust them, but then I'm not wasting their time and they're not wasting mine.
Good, good. Yeah, normally I'm not a proponent of having the long text boxes there that are required, but because you said to me that you do this part time,
Mm-hmm.
it's for you to pick up the phone and call someone, you have to schedule that into your day. So you definitely don't want somebody that's just trying to sell you an ad in the local newspaper or SEO services because you already got a friend. So I think that makes sense for you, and I'm good. I'm good. I love it. Good, and I'm glad it's a pop up there. Okay, so and then you do have your telephone number here, but I need your telephone number higher.
Okay.
So if I do want to call you, then I can get to it right away. Maybe I am a current client of yours and I've misplaced an email. At least I can get right to it. Because at first I thought maybe because you were doing it part-time, you were making everyone go through a web form versus being able to talk. So get your telephone number up there. That would be excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go through my checklist here and ask you some questions.
Okay.
All right, so do you have Google Analytics set up on your site?
Maybe my friend, I think, helped
Probably
me
did.
set it up, but I don't know how to look at it or analyze
Okay.
it.
All right, well, I would strongly urge you to make sure it is connected, which I know it's pretty easy to get it connected to Squarespace, but Squarespace also has some great easy reports that for you who are not going to geek out about your Google Analytics results, at least you can get some information. So I'm hoping that you know how many visits does your site get every month? We don't know that. Okay.
Not offhand.
I
I have looked at that, I think, but I don't like I told you before, it's not my goal to get my clients, you know, kind of originate from here. So I didn't really pay attention to that. I more look at how many Facebook likes I can get and things like that, because that's where I'm more getting my referrals from and things like that. And then they just come to this usually from Facebook.
Yeah. And you said this was really your validator. This
Yeah.
is when someone's vetting you, this is where they would go. So yeah, and you specifically said you wanted a professional presence just to seal the deal. So why I would like you to know that information is because it's all well and good. It's very subjective. Do I like the look of my website? Does it look cool? Does someone else think it looks cool? But I would love for you to just on a very basic level know how many visitors do I get to my website and how many new customers do I get in a month, just as a baseline. And it might be I get 75 visitors and I get one new customer versus my repeat clients.
Sure.
But at least you're tracking it. So if something changes in either a positive or a negative direction, you can start to drill down to figure out what's going on. Because I would be curious if you get 2,000 visitors and then only one new client in a month. I would start to question, do I have good stuff on my website?
Mm-hmm.
Is it leading people to do business with me? Does it look good? Yes, but is it really answering the questions that somebody who is trying to validate me from my Facebook activity, is
Sure.
it answering those questions? So, again, I know you don't want to, just, have the floodgates open and have tons and tons of business, although you could probably deal with that if that happened, I'm sure.
Yes, I would manage.
You'd figure out.
I'd have to get
I'm
my
sure.
husband on board to watch the two children a little bit more than he does, but that's fine.
Well, and now you can prove that argument. You can say, look, but yeah, that would just be something that I would be curious about. I think everybody should at least know those two numbers to figure
Sure.
out how many people actually convert from my website. And like I said, it's a way to evaluate, is this, is my website my number one salesperson, or is it actually a detractor? Is it a liability? Is it taking away customers from me, potential customers from me? So, okay, so we don't have that. I will say my first point on my checklist is, does the website signal that the content is fresh? And I will say, give you a big check mark on that because I do feel like it's fresh content. I think your blog really helped with that. I am curious, is there any reason why you left your blog off of your navigation here?
Yeah, there's like 3 posts and they were all written before, and then I updated the ones that are linked. So I'm not a great writer, like,
Okay.
so I had a blog link up there for a while and realized I didn't have the capacity to write content that was interesting to people, or that would help them, and also I just didn't have the creative juices to think of ones to put. So I basically wrote a couple of them, and it's a hidden page that you technically could get to the blog, but like I said, there's not very many. I did just update the ones, like I said, that are linked on different parts of my website, so that now they show as 2019, but yeah, blogging's not my strong point.
But that's okay, because you actually do have a blog and it's called your Vacation Gallery, and you are signaling that you are keeping this up to date with content. So this is a blog.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. So you do have a blog. I don't think you need to call it a blog.
Yeah.
But you do have that, and that helps signal the content. So the fact that you're using your real blog on the website, and you're pointing people there as need be, I think that's a beautiful thing. But you do have an active blog on your website. You just call it something different. So and that is signaling that you have fresh content. So A+ on that.
Woohoo.
I think so. For a clear and concise menu, we talked about that. It is concise. I think it just could be wordsmithed a little bit to be more inviting, and just again think about, what are the questions somebody has when they're vetting you, and just take them through. Here's step 1, step 2, step 3, and then the final step is contact me. Okay. I think you got emotional appeal. I want to see more of you. I definitely want to see more of you, but I think there's emotional appeal there. Your key products and services, we understand that there's a little challenge there, so we're going to work on that, right?
Yep.
I think one of my points is a clear message, and for you, I got the benefit of hearing you tell me why you're in this business and where you got your name from. I love that I love on the site that you give me some content that I can read and understand that. Again, picture choices I think are good. Again, I'd like to see some people in there. But you were so compelling when you were telling me about where you got your name from. I almost wish there was a little video right here where I could hear straight from your mouth what you do, because it's a beautiful story, and I'm not going to read this, and I don't have images that are pointing to what it is that you do and you specialize in. So at least if I had a video of you talking to me, then I could hear it straight from your mouth.
So like have that in addition to the text and then add some pictures in with the text, not like in exchange for.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because there are
I
people
hate
who
that.
don't.
Yeah, I would rather read everything. I don't want to hear anything. No, this is good to get both sides of the
Yeah.
personality spectrum, I guess.
Yeah, definitely have both. It's very important. And when I do a vlog scenario, I like to have that transcript. I tidy it up a little bit because I don't speak in really good sentences. So I do clean that up because you don't like to watch when a transcriptor goes through and documents what you said. But that helps the person that doesn't want to watch a video, or they're not in a place where they can listen to sound or what have you. So it's in conjunction. It would be a great way to have a video, an image of you above the fold, which is before we scroll what we see. So if I had just a little video right here of you, maybe it's 30 seconds long, where you just tell me, this is what I do. I'd love to see that. I think that could help with communicating that clear message. You have a subscription to your email option, which is another one of my points. So good job. Strong call to action. I think you can work on. I think some of your buttons, like request a free quote, I think you could have those sprinkled throughout. So I didn't see that very good there. And then one of the things that I didn't check was let's see, I was looking to see about your search engine optimized page title tag. So that's the text that appears here. Did your friend help you with different ones for each page?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Well, it looks like we're using yeah, and it might even be the default that when you build a page in Squarespace, it pulls the name of the page.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use this. You only have a little space. Like I've got just this little tab space here. This could be my travel planning services. And you don't even have to say the company name. That can be in just your description of the page. But
Okay. What's
yeah,
that called again?
That's the title tag. So when you build a page in Squarespace, I just know, guys who are tuned in, I just know Squarespace pretty well. So that's why I'm able to give these tips on Squarespace. But I think it's when you right click on the gear next to the page name in your file folders on the left-hand side, it gives you a space to change, update the title, and then the little meta description. And that's the description that shows up on Google. Okay. Or a Google search engine page. All right, let's see. I'm just going through some of these things here. We can have an easier way to connect to a live person. I said, make it so you don't click again, and also get your telephone number up there. I'd also urge you, because you do have some great content on this website, within Squarespace, I know, and other website platforms, you have the ability to add a search bar. And at first you're like, well, I don't have that many pages. Why does someone need to search? They can just click through it. But people are getting more and more used to, I don't want you guiding me through the experience. I want to get to what I want. And what I have found is if I put, let's go back to your homepage. If I could put a search right here, or if I could even, it depends on your template, if I could get it up here, what happens is you, in all the website programs, you have the ability to look at what people are typing in there and see what gets served up from your site search. And if you find that somebody asked a specific question that you never thought of, then you can go create content for that and make sure it's all synced up. Likewise, you have that destination content. So if someone's saying Mexico, then your images from Mexico could show up as well.
Okay.
So I think that that's a great way to make something helpful, make it easier for people to do things on your site. Let's see. And one of my things is quick answers to visitors' questions. And normally that's a frequently asked question page. I feel like, and you kind of said it about your personality where you like to read things, you don't want to hear somebody tell you. I feel like you've done that through your site. You've asked the question and then answered. I don't know that it is, if I have a specific question, I don't know that I could get to that. So you might think about a frequently asked questions page that, it could either be in your top navigation or maybe in a lower navigation. Just for those people that, maybe want to find out, do you charge a fee, right?
Sure.
Just things, and just start collecting those things there, so you can have a quick way for people to get answers to their questions. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of other items on here, but I'm really impressed with the volume of content that you do have. And I feel like you're very, very tight with who you are and what you want to do. I think it's just a way, reinforce that with imagery and, breaking things up a little bit so I don't get too lost in the sauce of a lot of content. I think it's really good. I would love if you had a live chat feature on your website. I'm very, very keen to that.
So how would that work? Like, I mean, I'm not able to be like logged in all the time. Is it notifies me in some way, or?
Well, so if you are not logged in, it will just show up, say, like a little icon on the bottom here and say, somebody's not here to take your message, but we'll get back to you right away, right? And then it allows them to send an email really quick to you.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to dig for your contact page. I can go right there. Now, when you are at home and you're doing stuff with the kids or whatever, just find a service, and there are free options. I think Olark is one that does a free, at least they did a free service, but there's quite a few different ones. But just make sure that when you are logged in, there is a notification that's loud enough for you to hear if you're in your front lounge or you're in the kitchen, what have you, because in one of my businesses, I man the live chat, and I completely got distracted with my dogs outside, and somebody was trying to chat with me, and I missed quite a large sale by doing that. So it's one of those things that you have to find the tool that's right for you. Olark I've used before, and that's the only one that's coming up in my mind. But look at some of the options, and then it's really easy for you to install. It's not going to be complex at all. And then you control when you're available, when you're not available. You can jump on if you're available for a couple hours and jump off. But you at least got another way for someone to contact you. And we're pretty much used to it. Even Messenger, Facebook Messenger, you can install on your website to where it's all flowing through Facebook, and therefore you can respond through your Facebook Pages app. So that's another one to look into. I haven't installed that on any websites, but I'm seeing that more and more. Because Messenger is really trying to make that option available. So I would love to see that. And is there any kind of pop-up that you've got set, like to remind me if I go to leave, nothing? You might have
leave, but I have a pop-up that comes up and it says we give $50 Amazon gift cards for referrals that book with us. So got a couple for referrals for that.
So when does that kick in? Because I haven't seen it.
It should have. I thought it would have happened already. It did when I went on here on my own computer like a few days ago. So I don't, maybe it's broke. I don't, but I did
Oh,
set it up to be like, I think it's, 20 seconds or, not very long after you get to the page.
okay. Okay. That's awesome. I love that. Most of the time I would use it as, hey, you can sign up for my email because you've only got it down at the very bottom. So if I didn't get that far,
Mhm.
what I use email signups for a lot of times is if I'm on my phone and I find a place that I'm interested in, but I don't want to bookmark it. And then I see the email sign up and then I just put my email in because I know they're going to email me at some point and then I'll remember them. So,
Sure.
for the me's of the world, that's a helpful thing. But I love the fact that you're using one, and it might just be that when Lyman was setting this up, he might have triggered it already,
Oh,
and
sure.
therefore I didn't get to see it. Um, yeah, so we got a few more minutes, and anybody that's joined us, nobody's asking any questions right now. So, do you have any questions about your website that I didn't talk about?
Well, no, but about something that you suggested. So the like video with the transcript, do you find that it's better to have transcript, closed caption, or both? Like, if you had the option for either, would you do both, or would you just do like closed caption or transcript?
For your web content on your website, I would use a transcript versus the closed caption. However, I know that you've done some videos on Facebook. Facebook will put, and YouTube will also put your video through their automatic service, and that's free for you to use. And it goes through and listens to what you say. And if you don't talk weird like I do, it's pretty good. But then it does allow you to edit it line by line. So you can, if you said something a little awkward, you can tidy it up there, or just kind of restructure things if it didn't read it correctly. And that is what I love to use for both YouTube and Facebook, because so many of us are scrolling through and we might be at the nail salon and we don't want to listen to anything, but at least if I see your face and I see you talking to me, then I could say, oh, maybe I want to listen to this video or save this for later, or at least just understand what you were talking about. So I don't know that I've had very much experience using the closed caption on the videos on the website. Um, but I mean, you could definitely try it and tell me if it worked or not. But I definitely recommend it for your Facebook videos
Yeah.
for sure.
In my other job, I do video and they have a service where they host their videos. It's, it costs money, and I've done closed captioning for that. And I know that that's like it's becoming a requirement there. And so I just didn't
Yeah.
know if that's kind of becoming the norm elsewhere too.
It really depends on I would say it depends on the volume of the traffic on your website. And I'm gonna, without knowing what the traffic is, I'm gonna assume that you're not
Sure.
there. I don't know that I would go through that extra hurdle. But
Yeah.
right now, if you do your Facebook videos and you go ahead and have that done, then you've got it in the video. And I believe that if you download it with the caption on, I do believe that the caption stays with it.
Oh,
But YouTube will also do the same thing. So you've got some options there. Um, but yeah, the having it live, the transcript as live text on your website will also help you for SEO.
oh,
So
okay.
that's another added benefit. So Google knows, hey, she updated the page. We can't watch the video, but we can see that she also added some text to the page. So we need to go in and read that. It does help. Now, one of the things, and if you've got another question, we can talk about that. But one of the things before we got on, you were talking about having some SEO work done on your site and getting some advice there. And then you said something that I'm glad you did. But you said you looked yourself up on Google and you ranked number 2. Okay. So we didn't get into any more details. I just made that note here because I wanted to address it. So one of the things, and you might have done this, you weren't getting into all the details, but one of the things that can really misguide you is when you do try to do a little audit to see how you're ranking on search engines. If you don't use a incognito window for Google, then it takes into consideration all the pages that you've searched for and visited. So that number 2 might actually be number 17 if it didn't take into consideration who you are. Yeah. But so I just wanted to put that out there because it's really important for you to check. A friend of mine had a website, and he thought his website was strong. It converted really good. And then I searched for it on my phone, and what he didn't realize is there was a plugin on his website that put in a bunch of vulgar language into his meta descriptions and titles that show up on the search engine results page. I mean, he was mortified, and he quickly got rid of that plugin. But he hadn't been checking, so he didn't know that something had, some malware had taken over his website and done some bad stuff. So always check, always see where, what it looks like when someone's searching for your website, or whether it's a branded search where they're specifically looking for you, or whether it's looking for vacation travel planning services in my area, and somebody finding you that way. Just keep trying different combinations because you want to see how you get served up in those search engine results page. So when you said that, it made me think, oh, I need to drop that tip out there. So anyway.
So for me, I live in Robbinsdale, which is a teeny tiny little suburb of the Twin Cities, so Minneapolis, St. Paul. Okay. So I originally had my title tag be Robbinsdale Travel Agency, but because I'm not just focused on Robbinsdale, I'm, really trying to get anyone in the Twin Cities, I changed it to that. But then to me, that seems like that would then drop me lower on the, search bar or whatever, because there's probably a billion Twin Cities travel agents, Do you have any advice for that, or like how I should, like intersperse those words or anything like that in, or anything like that?
I don't see your business as very geographically focused. So I'm not feeling like local is extremely important to you. And if it is, then that's another thing, right?
Not really.
But I think it's more about the cultural travel.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be looking at that being served up for that. I would recommend that you do a page on your site, and it could be a hidden page, one that's not attached to one of these navigation points, where you talk about, I am a travel agent in, would you say, Robbinsdale, and near the Twin Cities or in the Twin Cities or whatever. And then you can have some content on your site that is speaking to somebody. So if someone who was local and was looking for somebody that was in their neighborhood, they could land on that page, and then you could send them to your home page, or you could even make a duplicate of your home page and have it specifically speaking to your location. So just change up some of the words and make sure it's, if someone was looking for a local travel agent, they're seeing that you are clearly local, right? So that's good. The other thing that I would do is you've got Google My Business. Have you set up Google My Business?
No, because my address is my home address, and you have to have an address, so
you do have to have an address.
I have 2 small kids. I don't, just in case, like I don't really want that. So
yeah, I got you. So that would if somebody was in a situation where that wasn't a concern, which that's a total valid concern. So that would be another way that I think people who are trying to be more of a local business, that is really, I mean, it takes over that little bar in the right corner. That's really what Google is looking at to identify you in maps. Now, I will say, if you've got your address somewhere set up in the Squarespace system where I think there's like a little map where you can, say where your business is. Squarespace has that set up to signal to Google that this is somebody that's located in Minnesota. So there are things that are working for you there, but I just don't see you as a local business, and that being the area that you're farming. I think you've got a lot more potential to reach people in different areas.
That makes sense.
That's where I am. Well, so it looks like
I don't have my logo at the top left, like you said, to take it out. Should I have it anywhere on my page? Like
you could use it to maybe put it above Explore Our Services button, or you could use it somewhere. I don't know that it's adding as much value as you just saying out experience, culture, travel. I think that's pretty important. But We are at time, so I want to thank you so much. You were such a great guest on my show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me and giving me all the advice. I got a lot of to-dos to do now.
That's awesome. Well, keep in touch with me. And those of you who tuned in, thank you for watching all the way to the end. And if you want to do one of these website throwdowns with me, then just go to Agent Portal and search website throwdown. And I think you get to the page where you can fill out the form that's embedded. At least I hope it's embedded. I'm saying that. I don't know for a fact. But anyway, thank you so much. And as always, we just want to help you guys thrive in your businesses and just take over the world. So whatever we can do to help, we are here for you. And again, thank you, Kara. I really appreciate it. And you guys go check out our website if you weren't looking at it while you were watching this. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye, Kara.